like me, you've broken quite a few bones in your time. So what happens when you're cremated to those screws and the plates in your body? Or perhaps your new knee or the hip joint? Hello, I'm Lisa Herbert from the Bottom Drawer book, the After Death Action Plan. I asked that question to the CEO of the Australasian Cemeteries and Crematoria Association, Chris Harrington.
It's quite common for people to have artificial hips and limbs, and there's screws from knees from operations and old footy injuries and things like that. Those metals that are remaining after the cremation are taken out of the remains and separated. In almost every case in Australia, every crematorium virtually is subscribed to what the industry calls recycling. So it's a recycling of metals after cremation, so that those metals aren't just buried in the ground like they used to be many years ago, which was an awful thing to think about now, but that's what we used to do. Those metals are now recycled. They're sent to Ortho Metals is a company that is quite prevalent in Australia now. They're based in the Netherlands. They separate all the metals into their precious metal groups. They melt them down, and then they sell those metals back into industry for use again. And the proceeds that they get, that Ortho Metals make from the sale of those metals back into industry, is given back to the crematoria that they came from, and then they're used for charitable purposes. So any money that's made from the sale of the recycling goes back into a charity that crematorium selects. So it's a really nice sort of 360-degree way of dealing with metals. So we don't bury them in the ground anymore. So from an environmental point of view, it's a far better situation than we've ever had before.
Recycling right to the very end. Thanks, Chris Harrington from the Australasian Cemeteries and Crematoria Association. It's all about sharing information, because hopefully the more informed we are, the less fearful and daunted we are by the thought of death and dying. It's the reason I wrote the Bottom Drawer book, the After Death Action Plan. Now, for more informative videos like this one, keep an eye on my Facebook page, The Bottom Drawer Book, and also on YouTube at The Bottom Drawer Book.